It's another All Things Nerd podcast, Season 3, Episode 5. On tonight's show, we are going to be talking about the streaming wars and how they're heating up because all the streaming services are coming after each other with different things. Along with that, we're going to talk about who is Batman, because nobody knows. We have no idea who's going to be playing Batman in the next Batman film. And
I am Batman.
We try and think about some of our thoughts on that. Along with the incredible comic book adaptation for Amazon released its incredible cast, because it is a phenomenal cast. We're going to talk about who's going to be voicing that cartoon and what our thoughts are on that, with much, much more things to come. Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mess 5150 here with another All Things Nerd podcast, Season 3, Episode 5. We are back. It's another Friday, and we are live recording a show to talk about geek news, nerd news, and pop culture news. As you see, there's one extra person on the cast with us tonight, and that's just because there's a nerd fight going on, and it is extremely close. So nobody got KO'd where they got knocked off the show before it started. What it is we're going to find out after our geek out portion who gets kicked off the show, and we'll join you in the chat room to talk about all things nerd. So joining me on the show for right now, at least, we have IC Zorro. How goes it, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Had a nice day off today, so I got to read up and watch up on some stuff. I'm ready to go if I'm around much longer. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. Next, the person that could potentially be getting kicked is Nick on our cast. Hello, sir.
Hey, I'm hanging in there. Hope to be on the cast longer, but rules are rules.
It is a nerd fight, and somebody eventually loses.
Right now it shows that you're below me, which is confusing to me because alphabetically I should be second.
It's based off of last person to vote, I believe. So it's not alphabetical. Yeah, because you guys are. Yep. So somebody needs to go vote to decide a winner. Also on the cast,
Better Call Saul.
Either Better Call Saul or The Good Place, whichever show you think is better.
Vote on whoever has the sexier voice.
Or if you don't like either one of these guys and you don't want to see them for the rest of the cast, vote for the other person.
That's fair too.
Also on the cast, we have Masonic Vader. How are you, sir?
I am well, sir. I am happy to see that I went from bottom to at least now I'm in the middle. So, hey.
Oh, you're lucky Pierre now.
Yeah, wee! I got my lucky shirt on to finish the rest of the cast. Yay!
And keep in mind, when I say malice-corp.com, it's not right there as soon as you log on. You got to scroll to the bottom of the page, and then you'll see where you can vote. So, we also have Super Hoovy and Freak on the cast with us. How are you?
Good. Recuperating a little bit from a head cold. So apologies if I sound
new
a little
word,
bit
recuperate.
I think recuperating, vacuuming while you're getting better.
Red Meat and I spent today screwing around on World of Warcraft, attempting to go for some more mounts. We're trying to get to the next achievement, and so it was a good day.
And
we showed determination and fortitude and a great creative use of swear words.
That's what Red Meat Paw said in the chat.
Recuperation.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a great chat going on in the chat room right now about Star Wars between Jack Malice, our producer, Whiskey Gamer 85. Welcome back to the cast. I haven't seen you in a while, and Polyfuse is in there as well. So thank you guys for coming in and being a part of the show. They're talking about Rey right now. So they're already starting their own show in there. Lastly, we saved the best for last. Mrs. Malice is on the cast. How are you? I think first time on MaliceCast?
First time on MaliceCast. Yes.
Ooh! Everybody in the chat room gets a special treat.
I'm here to kick off the loser, apparently. So
that's exactly what you're here for. Mrs. Malice is also coming here because we are going to be recording the MaliceCast TV talks for The Walking Dead here very shortly in another couple weeks, and she is part of that cast. She is our zombie aficionado, so we wanted you guys to get to know her so that you can come join us when we talk about The Walking Dead and the Whispers and what's going to be happening with that show when it comes back.
So excited.
For most of the time, this last few days on the Nerd Fight is now not coming back from second place because the fandom has spoken for Supernatural.
Just got to get those links in the right places.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she said.
Hey, I'm just happy because The Walking Dead is not last, so I'm just happy.
It is not last, yeah, but it's a close fight. It's a definite close fight. So
this one has been like a tumbler all week. Like it's been within like 5 to 8 votes from top to bottom for the entire week.
Well, it's
so just
crazy.
here and there have mattered.
I think this is the first time that I've seen every single pick on the Nerd Fight be in first place except for Good Place. Was Good Place ever in first place?
Yeah, briefly.
No, I was in second. No, I take that back.
It was for like 10 minutes.
Votes. 2-0. First day.
Yeah, still counts.
So
fight to the death.
After this, we find out who gets kicked off. First up is what everybody's been geeking out on. Me, first and foremost, my geek out has been very interesting. It's not a very geeky show or anything, but I am binge watching the soap opera of all soap operas for nighttime television, and that's Empire. And oh my God, is it a soap opera?
Is it tickling your fancy?
No, but I like the music. The acting's good. I mean, you get great actors on it and stuff. One of the main characters got amnesia, and then he got his memory back, and then he got kidnapped by somebody in a misery, like super in love situation where they chained him up like Black Snake Moan, and there's always things going on. It's a crazy soap opera show. That's what it is. And then you have Demi Moore on it and Rumor Willis on it at the same time, and they're not characters that are actually know each other or related to each other, but it's the mom and the daughter in real life. It's weird. So that's what I've been geeking out on. Whiskey Gamer says he caught up on Supernatural and can't believe how long the show has been around and still love it. So what about UIC? What have you been geeking out on?
I said I was going to do it last week, and I've done it. I've only got, I think, 1 episode left. So I'm not quite at Beacon binging levels. But I watched both seasons of Hulu's Future Man. And I got to tell you, I friggin' love it. It takes an episode or 2 to get into it because, they have to establish everything. But it is a silly, fun, dirty romp of a sci-fi television show. It's hilarious. It's like if you took, let's see here, Terminator mixed with Back to the Future, mixed with, what was the one with Stallone and Wesley Snipes?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yes. Yeah,
I love that movie.
Future have the attitude of that. If Demolition Man had been a rated R movie, which it should have been, this show is friggin'
Wasn't it rated R? It just I thought it was rated R, but they didn't actually just because of the content.
They weren't even allowed to swear.
Say bad words. There was no nudity in the movie.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I think it was PG-13. I think it was like one of the early PG-13.
For bad language and action scenes.
I think it may have been PG-13.
But yeah, Future Man is friggin' hilarious and fun to watch. Yeah. Eliza is goddamn brilliant. Josh Hutcherson, PETA from the Hunger Games. He's just a good character arc. Pretty decent show.
Yeah, Jack, our producer, says in the chat room, Future Man, a show so bad it is good. So it comes back around.
And that's it. It's dumb humor, but it's dumb humor done in a smart way.
That's good.
I saw parts of it when he was watching it, and I kind of wanted to watch it all the way through, but I was like, I don't want to watch this because of my kid. I don't need her walking out on that show.
And Red Meatball has been geeking out on Manhunt, the 12-day search for Lincoln's killer. That's kind of cool. Check that out.
She would.
Oh yeah, and this is the comment that you told me, Jack told you before, is that Future Man is the show that that messed Beacon and Super's brother would come up after a night of hard drinking. And I know that he meant that originally in a bad way. I think it's in a great way. I like it.
No, that was meant in a good way.
Masonic, what have you been geeking out on?
I'm recovering from a wrestling weekend with Royal Rumble and whatnot, so it was a good time there. Check out the podcast on it. And then also, I saw this really good movie on Netflix that came out. It was called Polar, based, I think, off of a Dark Horse comic. And yeah, it was really good. It was the guy who, I can't think of his name, but he was in Hannibal, the television series, and was Jyn Erso's dad in Rogue One. And I made a comment about this after seeing it. If you ever get to watch that movie, when you get there's a certain part of the movie where he's donning some gear and stuff. If they ever decide to make a Metal Gear Solid movie, I think they found their Solid Snake, because the guy was spot on solid look for it. And then also Galactic Battlegrounds decided to bring out some new characters, and now there's Count Dooku running around just chomping people, taking people's heads off and electrocuting the crap out of them. So yeah, there you go. All the realms taken care of this week.
Nice. What about you, Nick?
My wife and I have really gotten into, this is not really, I wouldn't consider this show geek culture, but Dr. Pimple Popper.
Again?
Really?
What?
Yes.
You're like the
Yes.
third person that I know that's obsessed with that show. What is it about that show?
Yes. I don't know. I think it's just how weird she is with her craft, because she really likes doing what she does, and I don't get it to where
I don't
she's
get
just like,
it.
oh, look at this, and then she like holds it up. She's like, look at this. Like, you think that she wants to put it on a frying pan and start eating it. Like,
I don't
Ah.
think I could watch that show, because if it's anything like
Somebody
Bosch,
vote for IC Zorro, so we got to kick Nick off, and he doesn't talk about Dr. Pimple Popper.
that's what I've been watching.
Remember back at the
I guess that's what happens
HG
when the polar vortex hits you in the middle, huh?
Back at the dawn of the HGTV network, I remember being like, oh, God, we're really watching people remodel houses. This is the dumbest stuff that's ever going to be on TV. And then I got into HGTV because I'm in my 30s, and that stuff's interesting. I cannot picture watching a dermatologist do their job for any reason.
Oh, for any reason.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why I like watching it, but it's just, I don't know. I can't
It's
explain
like
it.
that train wreck that you can't stop watching. Like, you know it's horrible, but you keep watching. Like the people that were addicted to Honey Boo Boo in their 50s, you know, it's like you just. Yeah.
Those people are in jail now.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Okay.
I want to know if that poor child is still drinking a mix of Red Bull and Mountain Dew or whatever it was for no juice.
Don't
And the
care.
the
Don't
bearded
want to
master-
see a
Poor Better Call Sal. Poor Better Call Sal.
Oh, did it just go into last?
Yup.
Uh-oh.
Better
Uh-oh.
Call Saul went last.
See what happens when you're talking about Dr. Pimple Popper?
Yup.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next Super. What have you been geeking out on?
Definitely been binging World of Warcraft, but I did finally catch up on the Arrowverse shows since the hiatus. I watched the last 2 or 3 for Flash and Supergirl and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. Finished out Castle Rock. I finally watched the last 3 episodes of Castle Rock. Really weird show if you haven't seen it. Definitely a good representation of Stephen King. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it if you like that psychological horror thriller type genre. And then I also watched the 2nd episode of Altered Carbon. So I'll probably finish that out, and then I'm going to start, what's that show called? What's the L Word? Because apparently they're going to be bringing it back. So I figured I would give it a try. Everyone says it's really good.
I thought it was just called the L Word.
Maybe it is called the L Word. I couldn't
it is.
remember. Sorry.
The offshoot of L Word is what's the L Word?
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have Bearded Master from MaliceCast, Malice Corp Smack Talk has joined us in the chat room. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, because I think he's saying that there's going to be a 6-hour marathon of Dr. Pimple for you, Nick, if you don't like the people playing in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's okay. I think I'd rather watch the Super Bowl.
It depends on who's winning, really.
And lastly, once again, what have you been geeking out on, Mrs. Malice?
Well, I already pre-watched all the Walking Dead series.
Again, all of it, the entire thing again?
Again. But recently, since I'm waiting patiently for my series to come back out again, thank you to Mess, I am actually rewatching all the Cowboy Bebop anime series.
That is such a great show.
Yes, it is. It's the one reason why I want a Corky so bad.
And I can't wait. I'm really interested in the live action, who they're going to cast and stuff. So
I know. So exciting.
yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been geeking out on. Yay! We got to see where's the results at. I'm gonna hit the refresh. If it's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
tied,
gotta check this out too.
It's 5-1. I can tell you that much right now.
Nobody voted on this except for one person.
One vote.
It's like there has to be someone else on the chat that is going to vote.
They did. That was the one vote.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is where I play the Price is Right drop.
Just like the Dallas Cowboys. Out of here.
That's
So
crazy.
for the rest of the cast, unfortunately, we will have to say goodbye to Nick. So he
Sounds
can
like Music City Miracle, man.
spend some time. He did an awesome job. And Better Call Saul, I thought was really gonna be up there.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
3 votes behind at the start of the show.
So it was just a close
Yeah,
fight.
like at the start of the show, it was sitting in good shape.
Yeah,
But-
it was.
Wasn't good
I'm
shit.
not. Yeah.
If Mrs.
about
Moth
it
doesn't want to
next
come on the show next week, maybe you'll be allowed back on next week. But you get a break. You get a break while the rest of us don't. So look at the bright side of it. So
Fortunately, Nick nipple popped. Yep.
Oh, like
Oh.
fun.
over on Nick. We'll see you at
That's the squeeze or rub. Ugh.
Yeah, this just in. That is not going to be the hashtag of the night.
Hashtag of the night. That's gross. Says
Okay.
the person that was Walking Dead.
We'll bid you adieu, Nick, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Sorry to interrupt, gentlemen, ladies. I'm rechecking the current standings as the producer. Better Call Saul is now tied
Yes.
with the Good Place, so it is a straight up tie of 42-42 for both of them.
So what, you want to tell him to come back?
Oh no, he left
It
already.
is tied.
Wow. That was fast.
Guess I won by a nose?
It worked just as fast as OxyClean.
This is what we've been doing the last few weeks, and it's the Classy Nerd segment. Where we are putting together a D&D group, and we have our 2 players for the group so far, and that is Nudie Rudy is a sorcerer, and we have our bard in Nick. Now we get to find out what Mrs. Malice should be if she were playing D&D in terms of her class.
Oh,
So,
a
Miss-
dragon. I'm just a dragon. Just write that down. Quiz me. Just a
A
dragon.
flowchart chooses for you. So, first off, when I fight, I like to use magic to weaken them in ways previously unmanageable, either stop the fight or end it quickly by helping my friends, or hit them where it hurts physically.
Hit them where it hurts physically.
Okay,
I can't talk.
and what? That's fine. Hit
I
them
think
where it hurts.
fiscally makes even more sense.
No, right?
What's your view on personal space? I don't have boundaries. Respectable, but close when I need to be. Please get away from me.
Please get away from me.
Okay. What's Katniss Everdeen to you? A role model? She should have just used a gun, or who?
Role model.
You are a ranger.
Yes. I'll take that.
So thank God we've got somebody that can fight in this group finally.
You're welcome.
Be it from
Not-
far away, but
I can go Daryl style on him.
of course we're a bard, and now we have a ranger in the group. Okay, that was it. That's the Classy Nerd segment. So, and we now have Nick back in the chat room because it's back to
Hi,
even.
it's been a while.
And I'm gonna be watching this because the second that it goes one way or the other, I'm gonna kick off either IC0 or Nick. So,
Hey, maybe I sealed my own fate for my weird show selection, but I'm not going to lie.
So he brings it back up. That's awesome. Yeah. You should have just let it go, bud.
yeah, and Jack brings up he was an artificer for when we first tried out this flow chart. So, Yeah, and they're saying this is Survivor Malice edition.
Yep.
Getting voted off the island. Okay.
Yeah, and then brought back to the island. It's weird.
Nerd. It's time for the nerd news. First and foremost, streaming wars are heating up big time. I don't know if you guys have heard the news that's coming with all the different streaming competition, Netflix, Hulu, DC Universe, and Disney. But let's dive into the first two. Netflix is raising their prices by $2. They say it's to help their margin as well as get them better original content on the show. I mean, are you cool with that?
Well, they need it because apparently they got rid of the other content, the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah. So they're still pretty cheap in my opinion for everything that you get. It's still no commercials, it's still no advertising. So I'm fine with it being a couple dollars more, especially because like you said, they are losing some of their, tried and true content that they've had. So they're not getting that revenue anymore. You know what I mean? So they got to make up for it in a different way.
Well,
I don't know. I find it interesting. They've never really told us their financial numbers before. Like, they don't tell us how many subscribers they have. They don't tell us what their overall income is each year. We just kind of have to, they don't tell us how many views each thing gets, from what I've heard. So, I mean, losing some high quality shows could hurt them a little bit, but I mean, this is a service that's putting out 2 to 3 seasons worth of high quality television every day, it seems like. Might not all be for your specific taste, but they're putting out amazing content at a high rate. For being commercial free, for having crazy access to anything I could want to stream within reason, yeah, I'll pay an extra $2. I'm fine.
I mean, I guess they got to do something though too, because of the fact that didn't we talk about this like either on the cast before, that they're going to be ditching Friends, or Friends isn't going to be on there, and apparently that was one of their more popular shows that people were streaming. So, I mean, like I said, I just watched a movie that they produced, that they came out with, just not even Polar. That was their first movie. I think we talked about last season about how they're going to be doing their own original movies. And it was a good movie. I just don't know if they're hurting financially in the back behind the scenes because of the fact that maybe Hulu has dipped into them more because of the live, because they're anticipating Disney or DC, whatever.
Well, okay, so you brought up Hulu. So going into that aspect, Hulu's dropping their prices by $2. So
they're sneaky about it, though.
That's where I watched Cowboy Bebop at.
It's on Hulu.
Well, and like Jack pointed out in the chat, like Hulu, you still have to watch commercials. I've been watching.
You still have to watch commercials if you have the $5.99.
But
if you look at their free streaming option with the no commercials, it's the same price as Netflix is going to be. So it's not. But they're trying to keep it on the down low, that they're raising in a couple months their live TV package. They're going to be raising that by $5. So sure, they're dropping the commercial choice by $2 for the people, that don't care about commercials, but they're raising their live TV package. So they're making it even harder now for people who are trying to cut the cord with cable to now watch live TV.
Yeah. I mean, I completely understand with what Jack's saying about, them lowering the price on the non-live stuff, and it makes sense. You're making money from the ads. Netflix, do you think that part of this, because they haven't said it's this way, but do you think that the $2 raise for Netflix is partly because they had to get those Academy members paid to get Roma nominated for an Oscar?
Oh, damn.
No idea.
Damn.
Good movie, I'm not saying.
Damn.
That was a low blow.
Something had to come money-wise to get into the MPAA. I mean, I know they're releasing movies in the theaters now, but still, to get this quickly an Oscar nomination is pretty insane.
If you look at just the pure numbers of it, $2 a month raise is not going to be a huge hardship for anybody that subscribes to them. But say they've got ballpark 100 million subscribers, that's an extra $200 million a month. That adds up quick.
It adds up.
Yeah.
I was about to say it'd be interesting too, because I don't know how many of you guys actually subscribe to Hulu Live. I have it. It was nice to get it because of the fact I could jump in on some of the content, and I successfully cut the cord like 3 years ago. So to see some live TV is kind of cool. But seeing reading the article earlier and seeing the raise of $5, I know $5 doesn't seem like a lot for a lot of people, but honestly, I don't know $5 is going to be worth me keeping Hulu live, because I'm starting to notice that as time moves forward, you start seeing the same commercials over and over again.
Dude, no joke. It's the biggest thing that one of the reasons I got like the Hulu streaming, because I have all these channels like the ABC, the NBC, the CBS, whatever, and I could watch those shows on those channels, but they do have the same commercials. I was gonna, when the freaking California was voting on their propositions, if I had to see one more dialysis commercial, I was like, this is driving me insane. Then I ended up getting the Hulu streaming, and I didn't have to deal with that crap anymore. And I can't even remember the last time I watched one of those channels.
I thought you were going to say, then I ended up getting dialysis.
No, right.
Just laying in bed watching TV, got diabetes.
Well, I mean, the commercials seem to work, because that's what caused me to go start watching Empire, because I was catching up on Orville, and they kept playing. Literally, they would play the crazy stuff that's happening on Empire this season, and giving away spoilers. And I was like, damn it! But they would play the commercials. They would play the commercial, and they'd play the exact same commercial right after that commercial.
Yeah, no, I get that a lot on Hulu.
Because then you can see if you can memorize, if you've memorized it the first time around.
Yeah, just don't watch the news, because I can only take so many catheter commercials, and Frank Thomas pushing free testosterone boosters.
Yeah, Jack brings up in the chat room, as of October 2018, Netflix is estimated 137 million subs. So combine that by $2.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
A month.
Jack gets Chevy truck commercials and commercials for the show that he is actually watching.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would have killed for some freaking, like, hey, watch this show on ABC, or like, hey, watch this show. Come suck me in with your content. Not give me another freaking Reese's Pieces commercial jacked up to 200 volume.
I guess I got Petco commercials, so I'm good.
Let's move on to the next one. DC Universe. DC Universe, I think they did really good with when they first came out. They gave us that nostalgia factor with Batman animated series and Wonder Woman and Lois and Clark. They gave us stuff to go back to be able to watch. Me, it was being able to watch the entire season of Constantine, which I was looking to catch up on anyways, because I wanted to binge the entire Arrowverse, and that falls into that. But then they came out with Titans, which was, I think, very well done. Despite how bad the trailer looked for it, it actually was a really, really good show. Now, for February, they have their next content, which is Doom Patrol. And I don't know if you guys have seen the clips for these at all, but the posters and the little promotion clips that they're giving for it has a very Grindhouse 70s feel, so it looks awesome. And along with that, they're going to expand that nostalgia even further.
Batman, I think, right?
Yeah, one of the Batmans that all got, but the new Batman Adventures is getting added to it as well. So continue that Batman animated shows. So they're adding content on a regular basis. I mean, is it not enough, or do you think it's really worth to be in this fight?
They're not in the fight yet, because they need to have more new original shows. Like I really did like Titans, like you said, and I am looking forward to Doom Patrol, especially with the episode or two that they had them in there. It's going to look really cool. But outside of that, ever since I finished watching Titans, I haven't really jumped back into it. When I first got, I was thinking, the nostalgia of being able to go back and watch, like, say, Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. Man, she was good looking, but I can only watch so much bad television, and then eventually it just kind of wears off, So, I'm looking forward to some new content.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Like, the only thing that I've used from that channel is Titans, which, again, I agree, really good show. But I was never huge into DC in the first place, so the only reason I have that content is for Titans specifically.
I'm with Ian on that one. I'm not a huge DC fan, so it's not something. I know. I'm a Marvel girl.
Right now, that artist right behind you, that Flash is going to come out of that and just smack you.
That's not mine.
Doesn't matter. It's the Flash. He's just going to.
I'll go grab my poster and switch them real quick if you want.
I don't want to see that fight with our producer there. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Jack says in comment to you guys not being big DC fans, Ian, you were dead to me, and I want a divorce.
Yes, the old fallback of look, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Yours just happens to be wrong.
Exactly, and if you guys
I'm not agreeing with it.
if you said you're not a big Superman fan, he would agree with you, but
I'm not. I mean, I like
But Batman alone.
Between Batman and Superman, I like Batman.
well, we'll get into Batman. So, last bit on the streaming war. So Disney, when they were doing the Disney Plus, they said that their pricing will be competitive. They will be lower than Netflix. Netflix just made it easier for them by raising their prices. And it has come out that Disney is looking to throw upwards of $500+ million at their original content shows that they have coming out. The Loki show, the Scarlet Witch, and Vision show, the Mandalorian, Star Wars, and
Scarlet Witch and Vision show.
It's called the Scarlet Witch and Vision show right now.
Gosh,
It's gonna be like Sonny and Cher. It's a half variety show. Yeah.
Lord.
But I mean, does that get you? And here's the thing with it. Yeah, they're going to throw $500+ million because Disney has money to throw around. Apparently, even though they're taking a loss on this purchase right now, it's coming out. But they said they're not going to bring a ton of original content. They're not looking to create all this original content for the streaming service like Netflix does. So does that hurt? I mean, can you still see it competing?
Yeah, but it makes sense because Netflix is trying to jump into the movies, whereas Disney already has that. So something I thought about when you were talking about that initially was I don't want them to go full bore with a bunch of, like, say, all the sub characters of Marvel or something like that, because then they're going to take away from the actual movies and everything. I don't want to sit there and subscribe to Disney so I can watch freaking Black Widow, which that'd be cool if they had a series for it or put her in a movie.
She's getting.
I don't want to. Yeah. I want to see them in the movie. Small screen is great, but the movies are so much better.
Well, what about utilizing the small screen to bring to light some of the characters that they haven't done yet, and maybe don't intend to do movies on because they don't know how popular they'd be?
But that goes
Good
against.
point.
I agree with that, but that goes against their plan that they're talking about. That they're not looking to do a lot of original content. They're looking
So
to
they're
bring.
just going to have a bunch of old, shows and Disney movie. I mean, that doesn't want to entice me to go.
Yeah, we're gonna get the Apple whatever gang.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That Disney company, they're just real bad at decisions business wise.
Yeah, because when you're a parent, let's say you're a parent and they're trying to entice these parents to come buy this service. Most parents already own all the movies on DVDs. Why would they need to pay $35 a month?
But here's the thing. What they're looking at doing is rather than they're throwing some money into original content, great, but they're also going to be conglomerating a lot of other content that other people have produced.
Not
They
throwing
have pennies on the dollar or, a reasonable price. They're not spending all that money on creation. They're just licensing. So they get to make all the money.
And it's not just throwing some money. It's $500+ million at just these original.
To Disney, that's pocket change.
I know,
That's,
but
very true.
Mrs. Malice, you had something. I want to know what you were going to say.
Well, they haven't been doing much new content either. They keep remaking old movies that they already make all into live action, which is cool, but
Live action. I didn't see any real lions.
I know, right? I didn't see any real lions, even though Lion King is one of my favorite Disney movies. And I do want to see the new live action because I love Lion King because I like lions and the whole story and everything. But I kind of don't want to see it live action.
Yeah, it's basically just updated animation.
Live action. But I mean, they got Aladdin coming out and all kinds of other ones. They've already done Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, which I love Beauty and the Beast too. That was great. But at the same time, it's like, stop, come up with something new.
I kind of do want to see a live action Lion King, which is just a zoo enclosure camera with 2 lions, a warthog, and a meerkat. That's what happens.
No
What
words.
happens. With Hakuna Matata playing in the background.
Right? On a loop.
Let me bring up some of these comments. Jack says they are going to struggle. They are just going to hurt companies like Netflix and Hulu. Once again, we brought this point up that as you create more and more of these streaming companies. They're going to start cannibalizing each other.
Well, and there's a word that you missed in there that he said, these silo streaming companies, these single platform, like one channel streaming companies. Yeah, I totally agree with him. Because they're populated now.
Exactly. Whiskey says if they don't make content, then what's the point? You will get through everything and then say, I'm done.
Exactly.
I agree. They don't keep bringing extra content, but there's Disney files, people that love Disney that are just going to latch onto this just because it's Disney.
And just a little more on the silo streaming thing. If you go back a little farther in the chat, Red Meatball was talking about. She said it's getting to be so expensive to subscribe to everything now. She got Adobe, Dropbox, Spotify, Audible, Wow, Hulu, Disney, Netflix. The concept of having like $15 a month to stream most of the stuff that you want on Netflix was amazing and novel. And now we have to do it like 9 times to get all the shows you want.
I think the only company that's really going to get nervous if they do that is TNT, because now when the holidays come around, you're going to have 24 hours of A Christmas Story on TNT, and then you're going to have 24 hours on Disney Channel of a Star Wars Christmas. So they're shaking in their boots.
Oh, they should be. Just from the waves of vomit should be rolling towards them. The movie is awful.
A little Death Star on top of the tree.
Don't get me started on Star Wars Christmas stuff.
Yeah. Ultimately, the funny thing is we're talking about all these different streaming channels, these different companies and everything. It's kind of ironic, but what they did to kill cable, they're probably going to start bringing it back to life, because you're going to end up spending as much money it was to watch cable than it is to just get all these channels and stuff. And now, like, look at a lot of cable companies. Like, I haven't had Cox Communications in a long time, but they're the local ones. And if you look at all the stuff that they have now, the equipment and everything, I mean, if it gets to a point, you might as well just go back, because you could record all that stuff, stream it, do whatever you want to do, and put it on your mobile devices as well.
Hey, you know what's cool though about the cable? Well, at least with our cable, we have a remote and we could just say what movie we want to watch and it'll come on.
I've got that on my Fire Stick.
I can't do that.
I take the 3 seconds to type it.
Soon you'll have that on your Twitter, as we talked about.
3 seconds is just too long sometimes, though.
It's the old Dane Cook bit. Masonic Vader, you're kind of making the point of like, they're becoming what they were replacing. It's basically the Who song, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. People that cut the cable are now going to have to be spending just as much, if not more, for the same content.
Let us know what your guys' thoughts are. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on Stitcher and iTunes. Moving on to the next subject, Batman. The Batman movie's been in turmoil. Is it getting made? Is it not getting made? Is Ben Affleck directing it? Is he not directing it? Is he going to be playing Batman again? Is he not going to be playing Batman again? It's been just riddled with turmoil. And they announced this week the actual release date of the next Batman film. In June of 2021 is when it's going to be coming out. And with that being said, Ben Affleck is out. Ben Affleck will not be playing Batman. It's summer 2020-21. And Ben Affleck actually tweeted to Matt Reeves that he's excited for what Matt Reeves is going to do. But first, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on Ben Affleck being out of it. But second, what they did say is they want a familiar face for it, but they want it to be a younger face. And I want to know if you guys have any thoughts of who should be in it, because we've already talked about Kit Harington and how he wouldn't be a good fit for it.
No.
But
unless you want a short Batman.
There's movie magic, but yeah, I mean, are you guys keen with Batfleck being gone? Do you think that?
No, because I don't feel like we got to see what he could really do with the role. I mean, he was in everybody else's movies. He was in the Batman versus Superman, which had terrible writing, so he didn't get to do anything there. It was Daredevil all over again. And he was in the Justice League movie, where he was just the bit part in the Justice League movie. We did not get to see him do, because he was probably one of the better parts of the Justice League, and he was one of the better parts of Batman versus Superman. So no, I'm pissed because I didn't get to see him do a single movie where he could really just embrace the role and be the role.
That is true.
I have news. I'm the next Batman.
Excellent. Can't wait.
Swear to me.
I am Batman.
So we're we're talking about this new Batman in 2021, but now, and you were saying that Batman's been in turmoil. Let's just step that back for a second and say DC's been in turmoil. Their movies, because you have literally just had you had Wonder Woman come out that just jump started everything. Justice League comes out, and as much as people want to dump on it, it did jumpstart the next movie, which was Aquaman, which I haven't found a single person that doesn't think that movie was good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was a fun movie.
So bad.
So good.
So they were finally able to start putting the pieces together. Like we talked about this way back when DC was trying to put everything in one show to try to catch up for 10 years of Marvel. And they finally found two pieces of the puzzle. And I agree. I think Ben Affleck wasn't able to really show his side of Batman, and now you're going to have to
and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's
now they need their equivalent of Tom Holland. They said they want a semi-familiar face that's skewing younger. They need their Tom Holland Spider-Man version of Batman. Although at this point, counting the latest, into the Spider-Verse, have there been more Spider-Man in the last 20 years or more Batman in the last 30? I don't.
Oh no, definitely more Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
3 Spider-Man.
Because you've had 3 just in the last.
Tobey Maguire and
We have 3.
Garfield.
Batman.
But I mean, actually, if you want to go all the way back to the 60s, you had, West and Keaton, Kilmer.
No, I mean, there's been more Batman overall. You were just talking about the last.
Yeah. Well, no, I said counting into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, then it's
like
more
6
Batman.
of them in there.
More Batman.
Okay.
There's
more
definitely
Batman.
What was that, Mrs. Malice? You were getting cut
There's
out.
definitely been more Batman. It's like a James Bond role for Batman, pretty much. There's always a new actor.
Ooh, Batman's a Time Lord.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you had 3 Batmans in 5 movies between the 80s and the 90s, between Keaton, Kilmer, and Clooney, and then you come back and you have the Dark Knight, and then now you have so there's been more Batmans, and you're not even counting
overall,
the cartoon.
Well, like I said, all the way back to West and but then Into the Spider-Verse went through like
all
6
the animated Batmans
people just in that one.
Yeah, but you can't really count that. I guess you can't count the Spider-Man.
Oh, and then Jack's pointing out the animated series too. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to be
I don't know,
careful
just-
when you're younger because you can't get. You can't have the guy that plays Spider-Man, whose name just completely went out of my head, Tom
Holland.
You can't have that be a Batman because that's not the character that Batman is. Batman could be younger, but he's still hard.
No, they're equivalent.
He's still
they need the young, charming guy. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he could be young and he could be charming, but you have to be really careful. You can't get like a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, guy to come in and play Batman because that's not
Tom Holland would be wrong for that part. Yeah,
absolutely would be wrong for the role of Batman. Yeah.
So there's a couple comments going on in the chat room about who to play. Jack says a younger, fresher face should be the Flash. I think they're already good with the Flash with who they have. I think Ezra Miller is doing a great job with it. Red Meatball has said Jake Gyllenhaal.
I like the Joseph Gordon-Levitt comment.
They said to get Patrick Wilson from the
that can't happen.
That can't happen, obviously.
From Aquaman, and he's in he's a pretty important character in Aquaman, so you can't. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Taylor Kitsch, James McAvoy.
Taylor Kitsch has had his
McAvoy would
chance,
actually be kind of interesting.
No, like Taylor Kitsch out. No.
I really see it being a British guy.
Yeah, Jack says it needs to be a grizzled face for Batman.
Yes.
The needs to stay with the Flash.
I know he's been floated for Bond. How about Idris Elba?
Idris Elba? No.
Yeah.
I've actually seen a couple people. They even floated Michael B. Jordan's name in this whole scenario, which is great.
I saw that one, but that was for Superman, I thought.
Michael B. Jordan makes sense. They said they want a younger, familiar face. And they've said that when asked Matt Reeves, they posed 2 actors and they wouldn't say who it was. And this was from Deadline. They wouldn't say who the 2 actors they posed at Matt Reeves to don the cape and cowl. But they had a 7-year apart difference. And between the 2 actors, they know what age range that Reeves wants for this film because he said one was too young, one was too old. So you're not going to get Idris Elba because he's getting to around Ben Affleck's age in terms of look on film. So, and you're not going to get somebody super young like a Tom.
Whiskey Gamer brings up an amazing suggestion in the comments. Jensen Ackles.
That's one that was
That
brought up
could
by
work perfectly.
Yeah. Jack says Kit Harington. We said no to Kit Harington. But a lot of people online want Armie Hammer as Batman.
Yeah.
That's the big push because he hits that early 30s, older 20s demographic.
I could see it being Jamie Dornan.
Please, no. No.
Peter,
I unfortunately
Dillinger
watched
from,
50 Shades Darker earlier this week. Jamie Dornan can't act his way out of a wet paper bag.
Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. There you go.
Tyrion, yep.
But here, I mean, honestly, I don't even know why they're having the conversation about Batman as much as they need to figure out what they're going to do. Is it going to be separated from the Justice League? Is it going to be its own thing, kind of like what they're trying to do with the Joker?
Matt Reeves is straight on. What he stated was that Aquaman is different than the other movies in the DCEU. That the Joker film by Todd Phillips is going to be different than the other movies in the DCEU. That Shazam is going to be different than the other movies in DCEU.
So then it's not an EU. It's just DC.
The Batman film that he's doing is going to be a straight up detective story. He's like, that's the aspect of Batman that never gets covered in films. He wants that dark, gritty detective where you're trying to solve a mystery along with Batman while watching it. So it is going to be different than any Batman movie we've gotten before. He said he still doesn't know what the title is because now it's no longer called The Batman. It's going to be a new title to it. But it sounds.
I want it to be like gritty 40s noir.
Well, it sounds like there's a little bit of butting heads because it sounds like Reeves is the one that wants a little bit younger, and the studio still wants a little bit older for it. So they've just what they've
happy medium. You can find a happy medium.
What was that, Mrs. Mouse?
But if they're going to do older, they should just stick with Ben Affleck. I mean, can't they do what they did with Last Guardians with Kurt Russell when they made him look younger? Why can't they do that to Ben Affleck?
Because Ben Affleck, he still looks pretty young.
Yeah, and to add a little bit of that CGI on him.
No, DC and CGI. No.
I give a Superman hair lip.
Already with the Superman, yep.
Killed it.
And that's what's sad too with the way that they're going with the movie. I think Ben Affleck could have played that role, that gritty detective. You know, I mean, he did a great job in Gone Girl.
Yeah,
he was an older Batman.
It's 2 years from now that it's coming out, so I think that's the big thing is that Affleck's got other things that he's been dealing with and stuff. So I don't think he wants to commit to anything from 2 years from now.
Is the guy that Jack, because I can't pronounce that name and I'm not even going to try. Is that the guy that played Jaime in Game of Thrones?
Christopher Hivju is the Mountain.
The Mountain, okay. He's
Oh
big though.
God. Say if the Mountain would be Batman, that would be like. I'll just say it would be a monster truck for the Batmobile.
Oh no, he's not. He's the guy.
That's what I kept on trying to say, but for all the crosstalk.
Zachary Levi, 1 is too adorable to play Batman, and 2, he's already Shazam, so that wouldn't work either.
I don't know. Let us know who. I mean, Ryan Gosling. You know what?
Oh hell no! Nope.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
The next Batman. I'll be the next Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Mrs. Mouse will be in it. But you talk about those castings when you say that in no way should happen. We talked about that with Joker, with the last Joker, the one that won the freaking Academy Award.
Jared Leto.
Oh,
No, that one doesn't.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Everybody was like, "That's a terrible casting. That's horrible."
No, he was amazing Joker.
Gosling,
No, the reason why.
But before seeing him on playing it, everybody was like, "That's a terrible." Ryan Gosling, I don't hate it. I really don't.
No, you know why I hate it?
What I
because
like
if you watch every Ryan Gosling movie, it's the same exact thing. It's this. I just watched First Man the other day, and I like the movie, but it's Ryan Gosling being mopey the entire damn time, and that's his typical movie role.
Red Meat Pussy.
Pretty cut you off.
I think that's still leaning to old Jim from The Office. There it is.
I would like that too, but I think
he has shown that he can play hard and serious, but you can play the other well. I think that would be genius.
I would keep on thinking Jim from The Office.
That's
the problem.
Batman.
No, because he's now Jack Ryan on Amazon. He
Oh
pulled it
yeah,
up.
that's right. He's got his own franchise now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
Jack
yeah,
Ryan.
no, I mean, there's so many people that you could, but it's real. The hard part is that age group. We need to figure out what that specific age group is to really narrow it down, and they won't tell us the exact age yet.
I
So
think they also need to know his blood type and the cereal he eats in the morning and whatever else they got to figure out.
I actually thought if you're going to go with the British actor, the actor that I thought would be good to pull off that Playboy, and we don't know how he'll do
Daniel
with the
Radcliffe.
side. Not Daniel Radcliffe. The actor from About a Boy that played Beast in the X-Men films.
Oh,
About,
Nicholas
Daniel Rad-
something.
Nicholas Holt.
Holt, yeah, Jennifer Lawrence's ex.
I think he'd be great for that, especially that Bruce Wayne role. So,
God, I'm still thinking
I
Daniel Radcliffe
don't mind that
playing
one.
Batman. I'm still thinking Daniel Radcliffe playing Batman and then breaking out his bat wand.
if you want to talk about somebody being too short for the bat suit, Daniel
Yeah,
Radcliffe.
talk about being too
It's
short.
called a grappling hook at this point.
Well, what about
Red Meatball says Richard Madden. I think that's actually not a bad one either.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I like that pick.
King of the North.
I think he could do it.
So, all right, yeah.
That
Let us
kid,
know
yeah.
your guys' thoughts in the chat below if you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else over on facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast. Come join with us and talk about all things nerd and let us know who should be the next Batman. Last major subject
Johnny
of
Knoxville.
nerd news is Incredible, the comic book. They're getting a movie adaptation, or not a movie, a cartoon adaptation on Amazon. It's coming out in 2020. Kirkman wrote the Incredible comic book. It is probably one of his best stories, in all honesty. Take what you will from The Walking Dead. Walking Dead is a great story, great comic book, but Incredible is amazing. And they released the freaking cast for this, which, not to pun this, but it is an incredible cast for the Incredible comic. So you have, Jesus Christ, Stephen Yeun
Really?
from The Walking Dead. Yeah, Jesus Christ is not on it.
Yeah,
Steve-
Jesus.
We're talking. Okay.
Back
Stephen Yeun
from the
Walking
space bashing.
J.K. Simmons is in this. Sandra Oh, Seth Rogen, Jillian Jacobs, Andrew Ronellis, Zazie Beetz, Mark Hamill, Walton Goggins, Jason Matzakis. I can hate his last name.
Matsoukas. That's Andrew Reynolds, Jason Matsoukas, Gillian Jacobs.
I always said
Do a whole
Jillian.
segment on you
Jacobs.
pronouncing names wrong.
Jay Whitman. I am not pronouncing Chris's last name. Chris Diamond Top. Oh God.
Demontopoulos.
Chris, I'm a Greek. Nice to meet you.
It's Demontopoulos, yeah.
Chris, I'm agree.
I know that's the same name as the guy that plays, or the same last name as the guy that played Starburns on Community, but that can't possibly be the same guy.
Yeah, and so I mean, it doesn't say who's voicing who, but for a cartoon based off a comic book, they came out with a good who's who of characters for this
Dude, they did.
comic. And along with this, not only are getting this cartoon version, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are developing a feature film adaptation of the comic too for Kirkman. So that might be why Seth Rogen's voice is in it. Also, his voice is super, super noticeable, especially his laugh. But I mean, what do you guys think on this? Is just off this voice cast something that would get you to watch it if you had no idea what Incredible was about, which I'm sure some of you guys
Absolutely.
have no idea what it's about.
Me.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
These
These
are
are some of my favorite actors and actresses.
Incredible. Invincible. Invincible is the name of the comic.
I say, are you thinking? When you said Incredibles, I was thinking like the Incredibles from Disney.
No, Invincible.
Which one's Elastigirl?
Yeah. Invincible is the name of the
Okay.
comic. Don't shoot me, son of Maku, when you watch this later, because it's his favorite comic of all time, outside of Swamp Thing.
There's even more names that you didn't even like. Walton Goggins, I love. Mae Whitman is amazing.
Yeah.
These are
Absolutely.
incredible
If
cast.
you watched Parenthood, Mae Whitman and Max Burkholder were on the show together,
yeah.
and he was
Oh,
really
that's
good.
who Max Burkholder is. Yeah.
Yeah, he ironically played the character
Max.
named Max.
Yeah.
It was very hard for him to respond to his cues when they said Max, you know. But it's an amazing cast. J.K. Simmons, one of my favorite actors. The Closer is one of my favorite shows of the last 15 years. I absolutely love that show, and him and Kira Sedgwick.
And I'm just hoping after every episode,
Knowing almost
and we covered it.
knowing almost nothing about the comic storyline, just that it was written by Kirkman and that voice list, that'll get me to watch a few episodes.
It's a
Absolutely.
that I see anybody that's watching the chat room. This is a comic book that you guys should go check out. I'm going to give a plug. You go to
Where should we do that?
You go to malice-corp.com. You click on the Amazon link, and then you can go purchase the Invincible comic book collected trade paperbacks, or you can reach out to our friends at Turbo Comics from Max, who is part of the All for Comics podcast, which will have new episodes coming out. So guys, keep an eye out for that. But go get this comic because one, it is finished. It is completely done. So it's not something where you need to hope to continue with it once you get all caught up. The story is told. So it is a great, great story. You should really go out, purchase the trade paperbacks, read this story. It is one of the best comic book stories. It's on par with when I tried to get people into comic books. I'd go here and give them a copy of Preacher #1 and get them hooked. This is on the same par with that. This comic is a fantastic comic book.
I have a question. Is the style of how the comic book is written? Is it just like the Walking Dead series for the comic books? Is it
No, because this is a straight up superhero story.
Okay. I was just curious because I was curious.
It's the same adult nature that Kirkman writes in with his bit of comedy and stuff, but it's a straight up superhero story, and it is a fantastic story.
That was what I was curious about because I might actually pick that up when I'm done with the Walking Dead series.
No, and it's a different artist as well. And it's a different artist as well, and the artist is helping with the development of the show. He's helping draw it and stuff, so it's going to have that come across.
Okay.
From what I was reading about it, it looked like it was like Kick-Ass, but with actual superhero powers.
Mm-hmm. Kind of. There's moments of that, yeah. But it I don't want to give anything away on it and stuff, but it's
That's why they had a super hot power. He couldn't feel pain.
Well, I mean, what do you think with Amazon bringing The Boys and Amazon bringing Invincible, Netflix canceling all their Marvel shows except for The Punisher, AMC still has The Walking Dead and Preacher. Amazon seems like it's really making a move to grab the content control from geeks and nerds. You've got that along.
They still got a ways to go to fight against CW.
Stuff from it.
Well, you've got Lord of the Rings. You've got Wheel of Time coming as well. It feels like they're making that move big time. And they also have more movies on their movie catalog for Amazon Prime than Netflix has. To be able
They do. They have
And
a
there are a
lot.
lot of good, and there's a lot of good geek movies on there too.
There really is, yeah. There's a lot of good TV shows too that Hulu and Netflix don't have.
Is there any other animated? I think this would be one of the better animated cartoons.
I think
Okay,
it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good. And it's fresh too, like you said. A lot of people won't have expectations for it the way they had like for Star Wars and Star Trek and all these other shows. So these people coming in, you won't have. It'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, we don't get it till next year, but I'm sure a trailer will come at some point.
Disappointing.
And I love that Stephen Yeun's getting more stuff out there that he didn't get lost after Glenn got bashed in the head.
Right.
Spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And then
What?
A long time ago.
What happened to Glenn?
His eye popped out.
He's
Man.
it's fine, Maggie still.
Yeah, all they've said with Stephen Yeun and J.K. Simmons is that they're set to lead an A-list voice cast, not exactly what characters they're playing, but I could see Stephen Yeun being the main character and J.K. Simmons playing his father.
I think that's what they're gonna be. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. That's last thing. Somebody's got to talk about it. Our segment about things that are the odd, the weird, the geeky, the nerdy. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, how crazy it is, but there is a virus underwater that is wiping out an entire population of starfish, and they are calling this the underwater zombie apocalypse, according to Joe Gaddis of the University of California. It is the sea star wasting disease. It has killed more than 20 species of sea stars from Mexico to Alaska since 2013. It's insane the amount of space. They're literally saying that within 5 years, one of the sea stars that has been a prominent creature in
Patrick, yeah.
Huh?
Prominent starfish, Patrick. Yeah.
Okay, hey, when someone gets done here, can you just go ahead and do the whole like take Patrick and do the Thanos snap?
Oh, Jesus.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Standing ovation.
But within 5 years, it won't matter what happens
Exactly.
to them.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Some jackass chef in California will be like, I wonder if what's going to happen if we make sushi out of these. And that's how we start the actual zombie apocalypse.
That's what they're saying is within 5 years, this can actually be an extinct species that was prominent only a couple years ago. And it's ruining the entire ecosystem of the
Bet they're delicious.
I have a question. So first it was ants, because first they had the ants that would turn into zombies, and now
Zombie ants, yeah.
Starfish.
It's starfish.
What's
Yeah.
next? Pigs.
You forgot
Us.
about the people in Florida with the sea salts or whatever. Don't forget them.
Bath
Oh,
salts.
bath
yeah.
salts.
Yeah, bath salts. Yeah.
Okay, so
80
what's
guys
next
face
then?
off.
Pigs?
Listen to the symptoms that happen with these sea stars. So the wasting disease progresses from that looks weird to horror movie. Over a few days, white lesions appear, then expand into fissures of melting tissue, limbs fall off and crawl away, and finally the sea star disintegrates into a pile mound of decaying flesh. And they can't figure out what is causing this.
Yummy.
Sounds like a really bad fraternity party.
Right. Where is
We have
the
been to different
underwater-
parties, my friend.
Where is the underwater barrel when you need them to kill these stars?
They said that many of these outbreaks seem to be heat sensitive. In the lab, sea stars got sicker sooner and died faster in warmer water. A warming ocean could increase the impact of infectious diseases like this one. So this could spread. This is just the West Coast that's really hitting right now, but this is something that as waters warm up could spread.
20 years from now, the ocean's going to be 10 feet down anyway. So
We're gonna
And the
have
Pacific
zombie-
Ocean is colder than the Atlantic.
We're gonna have zombie sharks crawling on the shore and eating us.
Well, it's not like
Sharknado.
we have to worry about it anyways, because in 20 years, the entire ocean will be covered in plastic.
True. Straws.
Hot plastic.
Straws. Plastic straws.
Yeah, I mean,
plastic filled with zombies. That's where we're headed.
it's saddening. And the worst part about it is that unless there's a correction on sea urchins, and this is where you're going to get your sushi stuff probably, because sea urchins are overtaking because there's nothing keeping everything equal, and
Mhm.
it's creating more of an ecosystem issue. So they even stated that the sea urchins need to have some type of disease hit them just to even everything out.
Yep.
Or the population control, to where you have the balance. I mean, obviously none of us are, marine biologists, so we're not going to be the ones solving this problem, but it is sad. It's sad. It's crazy. And it's sad.
I want to bring up Whiskey's point in the chat room that he just brought up, because he makes a really good point with this, and you don't think it's starfish. So you kind of we have the jokes about the sushi and stuff like that, and you don't think it's a big part, but he says it's pretty scary. It's a starfish, but everything plays a part, and one thing dies and things can follow. It's just crazy that
Yeah.
something that you don't think
so
has
small.
a big but
Because there are things that eat the starfish too. So whatever eats the starfish to control their population is
Yeah.
a food source too.
It's the house of cards. Any
It is.
ecological system is a house of cards. One individual card may not seem important to you, but the whole structure depends on it.
Exactly. And Whiskey actually made a good point too, in the fact that it may sound like people are making jokes about this, but what they're really doing is they're using catchy headlines to bring attention to an issue that people would normally just brush aside. So yeah, they may be making a joke like, okay, the zombie apocalypse is coming, but it's going to make all these people that are looking for the zombie apocalypse suddenly see this and go, oh, maybe we should do something about this and try to spread the word,
Yeah, and prevent it from happening. So
Right, exactly. Because let's face it, we don't want the zombie apocalypse to really start with a starfish.
I will be getting shotguns if that happens.
What they meant, what was brought up was a sunflower star used to be a common sight underwater, but since its disappearance, this is the one that's disappearing, and the subsequent boom of urchins, North California has lost more than 90% of its kelp forests. It's not even a small percent, 90%. And yeah, when you talk about different animals live in the kelp forest, and that's going to create a whole difference of habitation and how things. I'm a scuba diver, so kelp forests are huge for the experience to when you go scuba diving, and yeah, I don't know, something that just somebody had to talk about it. It's
fun note to end on.
It's hopeful. They said that this will probably go into an endangered species list here soon because of the situation that's going on, and hopefully they can find a way to fix this, or they can figure out what's causing the disease and everything like that. I mean, look into it if you want to help out. I'm sure there's going to be organizations out there looking for funding and things like that. We're not part of that, but it's the sea star wasting disease is the name of it. But ecosystems get ruined by loss of different creatures. So yeah,
Should do a fundraiser for it for the Walking Dead cast.
That'd be awesome. I wish we had enough followers to do a fundraiser for stuff like this, but
yeah, I mean, that's the trick. It's kind of like, gaining traction. It's getting it noticed by the right person. I'm not necessarily saying a celebrity, but finding that one right person to say, hey, you know what, this matters to me and I'm going to do something about it, and then making it go viral. That's one of the best things about technology today, is you can make things like this go viral like that. And it can pick up steam, it can pick up traction. And I don't know if it's something that'll be solved in our lifetime, but maybe one day it could be.
So you both survived for the entire cast.
Amazing. I thought I was gone.
No, somebody saved you. You did it's the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, phone a friend to get saved.
I swear I didn't have any doing in that.
That was the cast for tonight. We have a new nerd fight that's going to be starting here soon. We are making our predictions. We're making our bets on who will have the best Super Bowl commercial this year, because that's what the geeks love. The geeks love the commercials. The nerds. So we're going to go in the order of where everybody's at in the current cast in terms of picks. And in first place is Super, and this is just picks. So Super, who do you think will have the best Super Bowl commercial?
I'm going to go with my tried and true favorite, because they seem to get like the best celebrities and the best ideas. I'm going with Doritos, and I also do love the chip.
I'm going to throw a dark horse. I'm going to go with Pepsi, because Pepsi used to be of the past, and I know other people are looking for other stuff to pick, and it's probably will be a loser.
Not a bad choice. Pepsi is a true dark horse.
Cindy Crawford back in the day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had that Britney Spears one.
Masonic Vader
on fire. Yeah.
Masonic Vader, you have the next pick.
Oh, I have the next pick. Woohoo! Okay. Yeah, because this is totally out of the blue on it. Let's see here. So many choices. It's not going to be Budweiser. They gave up the whole game a long time ago.
Yeah, they're just doing inspirational commercials now. It's kind of boring.
Which sucks, man. It's garbage. Gosh, man.
This one has no recourse. If you just think a company's going to be good, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the Doritos thing too, to be honest with you. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go with let's see, Chevy Ford. I'll go with gosh, man, Ford trucks.
You're like Mind Freak on your cast now when you're trying to get your thoughts.
Well, I'm sorry. You're throwing a poll at the last second. I can't do any research on it. I'll go with Ford trucks.
Up for a pre-show.
Ford trucks. Okay.
I was at the pre-show. Shut your mouth.
Good Place. Good Place was next. Ian, or Icy, go ahead. What's a company?
I'm gonna pull sort of a class rather than a specific company. I'm gonna say it's gonna be some either tax or a networking company.
No.
Everybody's
You
familiar
have
with all
to
the
name
time.
a company.
No, I don't.
A company. Yes, you
No,
do.
show up to the pre-show, dude.
It would be mobile.
I was at the pre-show.
Because there's
Dude.
always some either tax company because tax season's coming up, or a networking company that's just randomly out of nowhere.
You have to pick one way or the other: network or taxes.
Networking.
Okay.
Wait, I'm gonna go back.
GoDaddy.com?
I'm going back and saying that mine's gonna
GoDaddy
be a
doesn't
car
count. GoDaddy's a
dealership.
specific thing.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be cars.
Okay, so cars. Okay, what? That's fine.
Yeah, if that's gonna happen, I'm just gonna have Chevy, Ford, and everybody else on my side. Thank you
That's
very
fun.
much.
It's all Clint Eastwood sitting around in a dark room telling us how America used to be great.
No, it's also Matthew
That suck
McConaughey.
like it does everywhere.
Matthew McConaughey making a cool pull shot and then sitting in his car doing that. Look,
That's a big bull.
Oh, good lord. Okay,
Wow.
Nick.
That
Nick,
took a turn.
I'm gonna have to go Bud Light.
there you
Dilly.
go. We knew you were gonna go because everybody gave it to you. Do you have a choice, Mrs. Malice?
I have an idea, but not really a choice.
The Walking Dead.
Throw it out.
No. How many Walking Dead commercials will there be? No. I was thinking of suggesting, since I'm not a real huge football fan, to let your fans pick my poll for me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right, so we've got Doritos, Bud Light, Pepsi, car commercial, and networking as your best. So with that, that's the cast. Let's talk about where we can follow everybody, and if you have a hashtag of the week. Anybody have a hashtag of the week to interact on social media?
I do.
What is your hashtag of the week?
Hashtag worst replacement Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So the
That's
worst
a good one.
Don the Cape and Cow.
Steve Coogan.
Okay.
Hashtag.
And where can we follow you, Masonic Vader?
You can follow me, Masonic Vader, on Twitter, Masonic Vader 71, PlayStation Network, and like I always like to mention, check out Malice Smack Talk and follow that. That's a pretty fun show.
It is. They had a new episode come out today. You should check it out. Anybody else have a hashtag?
Mine's going to be a lead-in and then a hashtag, thanks to Nick. It's, hey, are you looking to lose weight this year? Hashtag watch Dr. Pimple Popper.
Okay.
You will have no appetite after you watch. Hashtag Dr. Pimple Popper.
Now, tell me about your favorite doctor. You know what? Super loves it so much. Hashtag Dr. Pimple Popper with your favorite pimple popping video tweeted.
Send her videos. Absolutely.
I
I could do that.
appreciate it because I will seriously have no appetite, and then maybe I could lose the last 5 pounds.
So they have to be human.
Anybody else have one for this week, or
I got one.
okay, Mrs. Malice?
Hashtag save the zombie stars.
There we go.
There you go. That's a good one too.
Somebody has the right head on their shoulders. And
Or
you 4134 if it's still active. I don't know if you had to recorrect
I
it.
think it's active. I think I fixed it.
Okay. Nick or Zorro, do you guys have a hashtag?
I was actually thinking of one earlier today that was just random. I was on the dart train, and I started thinking, Arya or John Wick as far as your favorite assassin. So hashtag Arya or John Wick.
Nice. So go vote and tell him who's the best assassin. Maybe that'll be a nerd fight for later. Zorro.
I got nothing, man.
Okay, nothing from Zorro this week.
hashtag I got nothing, man.
Where can we follow you, Zorro?
Yeah. When have you just come up with nothing when it was important? Hashtag I got nothing. That actually works. At IC Zorro on Twitter, Instagram, and PlayStation Network.
And where can we follow you, Nick?
Raider0314, PlayStation Network, and Twitter.
Okay. And the last bit of plugging, make sure to head over and I'm waiting for Jack Malice comment on plugging. Head over to malice-corp.com. You can see it written down there below. Click on podcasts and other media, and you'll see all the different podcasts that we have that are part of this network. Click on any of those podcasts if you want to listen to previous episodes. And just to let you guys know, we are now on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, you can listen to this podcast on Spotify. Make sure to go heart it and listen to us as we put casts up. Please drop reviews. Please let other people know about us. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. My hashtag of the week is Who is Batman? Because I want to know who should be the next Batman. And you can follow me at @Mest_MaliceCorp on Twitter or at Mest5150 on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining us. Come join us on Facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast and keep talking all things nerd with us. We will have details for other ways to be a part of the community coming up on the next few casts. With that, you guys keep nerding on, and we will see you next Friday to talk all things nerd.
Yeah.
Bye. Zombie stars, save them.
Save the zombie stars.
Hashtag save the zombie stars.